Support your post-operative recovery with the Ossur Cold Rush System. In this video, you're going to learn step-by-step comprehensive instructions on setup, usage, and maintenance of your Ossur Cold Rush System. Now, let's begin the path to recovery. Today, we're going to go over what's inside your Ossur Cold Rush box. Once you get it, we are going to open it up. And the nice thing about these boxes is just a little flap that you pull out and then two top pieces to open. The first thing you should notice, there should be a skin warning in your box. This just serves as a reminder to never put the pad directly on your skin. You can use a sterile dressing or a piece of clothing, but never apply the pad directly on your skin. The next thing you should find in the box is your pad if you ordered one. And always double check and make sure that you did get the correct pad. Once water has been run through the pads, they are not returnable or exchangeable. So always make sure you did get the correct item. Once you've gotten that, you can go ahead and pull your cooler out. Now, once you pull the cooler out, you're not done. The power supply is still inside the box, so you will need to lift this piece up and also take out your power supply. Along with your cooler, when you open the lid, you should also find some instructions. Now that you've made sure everything you ordered is in the box, we're ready to set up our system. In this video, we're going to show you how to set up your Ossur Cold Rush system. Now, you can use ice cubes and water in your system, or you can use the freezer bag. We do sell the freezer bags on our site, and they're pretty convenient. All you do is fill them up to this line, freeze them, and then you can put about 3 in the cooler. You can also use freezer bags in conjunction with the ice cubes. The freezer bags are a great way to keep that water colder for longer and just make it easier so that you don't have to keep changing out the water or ice cubes. So if you're going to use just ice cubes, you're going to want to go ahead and fill your water first to this bottom line here. Once you fill the water, go ahead and add your ice cubes until it gets to this top line here. However, if you're going to use the freezer bags, you're going to want to do the opposite. So you'll put your freezer bags in first. Then you're going to fill your water up to this top line. And as you'll notice, inside the system, it also has instructions for usage right under the lid, which is very convenient. Once you've got your ice and water in the cooler, close your lid. When you hear that click, that means it's secure, and now you're ready to apply your pad. Today we're going to show you how to apply the pad for the Ossur Cold Rush system. We're going to be applying the universal pad today. And remember, before you apply your pad, always make sure you have a barrier in place. Now, while we don't carry a specific sterile dressing for the Ossur pads, you can always use a piece of clothing or a thin towel. Today, I'm going to be applying it over my clothing. So before we put the pad on, go ahead and take your Velcro straps and apply one side. So we're going to take the shorter one and apply it there. And then I'm going to take my longer one and apply it towards the top. Go ahead, put your pad over the body part that you're treating. I'm using this one on my knee. The circular part in the middle should cover your kneecap. So once you've gotten it in place, go ahead and bring that bottom part around. Then you're going to take the longer strap and bring it around your lower thigh. And of course, you can loosen or tighten the straps depending on your need. Once you've gotten your pad in place, you're ready to take the hose from the pad and connect it to the hose from the cooler. Before you do that, always make sure you press down these metal tabs so that you can connect. Once you've gotten them pressed down, go ahead and connect. And you'll hear that little click that lets you know that they are secure. Once you've connected the hoses, you're going to take your power supply, plug it into the cooler, and on the Ossur system, the plug is over here on the side. So plug it into your cooler and then plug it into your power outlet. Now, once you've done that, on the Ossur system, you'll see back here in the back, there is a control dial. The Ossur system allows you to adjust the coldness. So to get started, you need to turn it to number 3 and leave it there for 10 minutes. After it's been on the number 3 setting for 10 minutes, then you can adjust it and turn it colder or warmer depending on your need. Here's a pro tip. When using your Ossur Cold Rush system, try to keep the system as level as possible with the body part that you're treating. This will ensure optimal performance of your system. Now, if your doctor has not given you a protocol, the rule of thumb is 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. Of course, if your doctor has given you a regimen, you always follow the advice of your doctor. And as always, you should check your skin frequently for signs of redness or irritation.
Quick reminder, if you find the video helpful, please subscribe to our channel or think about giving us a like. It's a simple, free way to support us, and it helps us create content for you. Also, you can purchase the products featured in the video directly from our YouTube store. Now let's get back to the review.
Once you've completed your treatment, we can go ahead and disconnect our power supply. Once you've disconnected your power supply, you're ready to disconnect your hoses. And again, you need to press down on the metal tabs. Now, once you disconnect your hoses, there may be a few drops of water, and that's totally normal. Once you've done that, go ahead and remove your pad, and then you're ready to drain and sanitize your system. In this video, we're going to explain the process of draining and sanitizing your Ossur Cold Rush system. So, for starters, go ahead and unplug your system. The next thing you're going to do is, if you use the freezer bags, go ahead and remove them from the cooler and drain your water. If you use ice cubes, go ahead and drain your ice and water out of your cooler. Once you've done that, go ahead and refill the cooler with warm water up to this top line here. Next, you're going to add either a 1/3 cup of bleach or a 1/2 cup of vinegar. Once you've added that to your warm water, close the lid, plug your power supply back in, plug it back into the wall, and let your system run for about 10 minutes. This is going to help clean and sanitize both the cooler and the pad. Once your system has run, you can go ahead, unplug the power supply, empty out your warm water. Then you need to go ahead and disconnect your pad from the cooler hose. Remember, press down these tabs. You might have a few drops of water that leak out when you disconnect. That's normal. Once you've disconnected your pad, come over here and you're going to hold it over the sink, and you need to press down on these 2 tabs on the bottom of your pad. That's going to help release the water. You can also fold your pad over, which helps to squeeze some of the water down the hose and drain out as much as possible. Once you've drained out the water from your pad, you can take a Clorox wipe and clean off your pad. Next, after you've drained the water from your cooler, take some paper towels and dry out the inside of the cooler. Once you've gotten everything drained and dried out, you're ready to store your system. Now that you've mastered the use of your Ossur Cold Rush system, click on some of our other videos where we discuss other important topics such as what to expect during the surgery and recovery period. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more recovery tips. Now, let's get back to living.